A group of friends, following a road outside of town, stumbled upon an old and abandoned house deep within the woods. The mansion appeared to have been deserted for years and exuded an eerie atmosphere. The local townsfolk believed it to be cursed, and no one had ventured near it. However, this group of friends were adventurous souls, driven by curiosity and a thirst for adventure. They pushed the creaky door open and entered. As they took their first steps inside, a chilling gust of wind enveloped them, and the door slammed shut behind them, locking them in. The interior of the mansion was shrouded in darkness, and an unsettling silence prevailed. The group began to explore, examining the faded stains on the walls and the ancient furniture. As they entered a room, an old piano began to play by itself, yet there was no one near it to strike the keys. As they ventured further into the mansion, they started to notice shadowy figures appearing and disappearing in the corners of their vision. The windows seemed to bear the intense gaze of mournful apparitions, but the most terrifying of all was the faint voice of a child echoing up from the stairs. The group followed the sound of the child's voice, ascending to the top floor of the mansion. Upon opening the door, they were met with an eerie sight. A child lay trembling in a bed, but their face was pale and their eyes were filled with fear. "Did you see it?" the child whispered before vanishing. At that moment, malevolent laughter echoed from all corners of the room. The group fled the room in a panic and rushed out of the mansion. However, their experience haunted them forever. The mysteries and ghosts of the mansion became part of the town's legends, and that harrowing night remained in you. Dr. Eleanor Harding, a psychiatrist who had been working at St. Agnes Mental Hospital for many years, had experienced many strange and eerie encounters during her tenure. However, recent events would lead her to confront an unbelievable reality. In the basement of the hospital, there was an old and abandoned section among the staff. This area was known as the Black Corridor. Dr. Harding knew that this section had been closed and unused for years, but lately, strange noises were being heard from there. Patients were expressing fears of death. One night, Dr. Harding's curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to walk toward the Black Corridor. As she entered the corridor, she felt a cold draft enveloping her, and she heard strange whispers coming from the rooms under the flickering light of dim bulbs. She saw something moving in. At the end of the corridor, she pushed open a large iron door and stepped inside. The place was filled with bizarre symbols and writing she had never seen before. Taking a deep breath, she began to read the strange writings. Suddenly, everything shook and the lights went out. In the darkness, Dr. Harding roamed around, and strange figures started to appear and disappear around her. The ghosts of former patients seemed to be watching her every move. Dr. Harding believed they were just apparitions from the past, but they were all too real. Sinister whispers grew louder, and as Dr. Harding reached the end of the corridor, she stood before a massive door. She pushed it open, and she entered a room filled with handwritten notes by a deranged man. From these notes, she began to piece together the horrifying history of a murder and the dark past of the mental hospital. Suddenly, she felt a cold breath on her neck and turned to find herself face to face with the ghost of a former patient. The patient fixed its gaze on her and said, "Have you come to uncover the truth, Doctor?" Dr. Harding, filled with terror, knew she had to delve deeper into the dark history of the hospital to uncover the truth.